The hallucinogens are drugs whose primary effects are on the mind, so they are frequently called psychedelic. They include mescaline and psilocybin. The best known is lysergic acid diethylamide, derived from a fungus that grows on rye grain. Pure LSD is very powerful. 1 ounce is enough for 300,000 average doses. Extensive experimentation has failed to establish a medical use for LSD, but study continues, and the legal supply of the drug is restricted for use in these carefully supervised research settings. How LSD works is not fully understood, but it seems to change the levels of 2 chemicals that regulate brain function: serotonin and norepinephrine. Researchers have observed changes in the brain's electrical activity. Whatever the mechanism of the change, the effect is to interfere with the brain's filtering and screening process. The senses are overloaded, responding to sights, sounds, smells, and other perceptions entering the brain in unfamiliar ways. Synesthesia, a crossing of the senses, is common. Sounds may be perceived as color, or color as odor. The user can experience illusions, misinterpretations of stimuli. He can have true hallucinations, perceiving things that don't exist in objective reality. The user cannot control the sensations, and while they may be amusing or exhilarating, they can be frightening, and the inability to stop them may be extremely distressing. LSD's effects on the emotions varies from person to person. Even in the same person, emotional reactions vary from trip to trip, and depending on the circumstances in which the drug is used. People on LSD remain conscious and they are able to reason. However, their sense of time is inaccurate, and they sometimes are distracted from the reasoning process by a fascination with something else. Under a large dose, users frequently report great understanding and new insights. They often speak of expanded consciousness, a sense of rebirth, escaping from stale perceptions, and frustrating patterns of thought. Objective research has produced no evidence that the use of LSD produces real or lasting changes of this type, nor that it enhances creativity. Still, many people have resorted to continuing use of LSD to sustain the feeling of greater understanding and insight. Studies of chronic LSD users indicate that even after the use of the drug stops, the sensory overload induced by the drug continues. This may be responsible for the observed decline in the ability to concentrate and think clearly. No one is yet able to say that chronic use of LSD is either harmful or harmless to the body, but the dangers to the mind are documented and significant, even for casual experimenters. A dangerous and not yet understood phenomenon is the flashback, a recurrence of the hallucinatory experience without another dose of the drug. Because of this, the user may fear that he is losing control of his mind. The resulting depression and panic probably account for most of the suicides attributed to LSD. Trippers make themselves the guinea pigs in an uncontrollable experiment, for substances purchased as LSD may contain anything, and even if they are LSD, they are of unknown strength. With severe depression and psychosis as the risks, people who gamble with LSD and lose spend a long time trying to regain their psychic stability. On college campuses, where claims of LSD's consciousness-expanding power led to the greatest interest in the drug, disillusionment with these claims and a growing awareness of the consequences have led to a decline in experimentation. But reports indicate that other young people continue to run the risks and suffer the consequences.